Hello, everyone. You are welcome to Anchor Network, where you get reliable and authentic news that are so crucial to you. I say big thank you to everyone who has been part of this channel and who has taken time to subscribe. And if you are yet to subscribe, I say please click the red subscribe button and also the bell icon. The bell icon will allow you to get notified anytime we publish any news. Fresh tension in presidency as Soyinka Falana participates in next Revolution Now activities. The presidency has seemingly become engulfed in palpable tension over the decision of Professor Wole Soyinka and a legal-based legal practitioner, Femi Falana, SAN, to participate in subsequent public activities of the Revolution Now movement led by Omo Yele Sowore. The two renowned stakeholders in the Nigerian project revealed their unreserved support for the revolutionary movement as well as their disgust over the violent behaviors of the All Progressives Congress (APC) federal government enrolling soldiers and police against innocent citizens who were on peaceful mass protests on August 5th when the Revolution Now movement went on peaceful mass action against the failing government of the day. Meanwhile, Coalition for Revolution, coordinators of the Revolution Now movement, is mobilizing for another public activities to bolster the process of the Revolution Now movement against bad governance in Nigeria. This time, the group is taking the protest and agitation from the street to the conference hall where enlightened Nigerians will be gathered to deliberate on the failures of government in the country. National Daily learned that Professor Wole Soyinka and Femi Falana SAN are already waiting for the dates of the Revolution Now next activity, which is expected to hold on August 19th, 2019 in Lagos. It was revealed that deliberation will focus on democracy, state repression, and the state of insecurity in Nigeria. The organizers explained that the program is part of the processes of agitating the detention of Omoyele Sowore, convener of the Revolution Now movement, including widening consultations and enlightenment of Nigerians on the struggle for change in the country. In view of the stepping up of the government repression within the past days, consequence to the peaceful #Revolution Now protests, the Coalition for Revolution is organizing a working consultative assembly of activists and organizations against the draconian developments and the detention of scores of activists in the DSS cells. This is in continuation of our popular struggle. Consultation and mass education are necessary in the struggle for change, the group declared in the statement. Some stakeholders have expressed concerns that it is becoming obvious that the APC federal government would have a huge task on that day to prevent people from attendance, is as is known of the government characteristics. Wow, this is a good one. It's really good that these two gentlemen are really coming out to support, because I think apart from Femi Fani Kayode, and few other people, they've really been talking, from every nook and crannies, for all quarters, they've been talking about on how government should release this man, Omoyele Sowore. Also, yesterday we heard from NLC telling the federal government to release Omoyele Sowore, and which people really said is really a good development if NLC can come up, like in some, develops a community in some, some climb. It is even all these NLC that are really, that they really stand their ground and government listening to them, because they have a huge strength, or let me say power, because when they talk, because they are the one holding the the government, holding the economy, as in terms of they are civil servants, which they are really directly under the government. So once they come out like that to make pronouncements, to make their stand known concerning any issue, most especially agitating for workers, federal government or the government always tends to listen to them, because they know that if they go on strike, it's going to have a huge effect on the economy and on the government as a whole. But what do we have right now? They are just like a paperweight. They don't even take them serious. And a lot of people have been trying to say, okay, these guys are really, most of them, they've really compromised and all of that. Even we talk about the 30,000 minimum wage of a thing. They are not even doing anything. There was a time, before they approved that 30,000, before it was signed into law, they were threatening the government that they were going to go on strike. But all of a sudden, they just promised them. They said they've passed the bill, or the president had, had agreed. But up to now, what are we seeing? Nothing, because they just had to pass that thing, or yeah, they had to agree because of the election that was coming up. But since that time, it's been back and forth, saying all manner of things, and then people are like, oh, this one is really a scam. So when people like NLC are talking, or when the group is really talking, they are supposed to, shake the government. But what do we have? Compromise here and there. So that aside, but like Wole Soyinka and Falana coming up, in a constructive manner, because there is not going to be a street thing. They just really want to gather people and, try to educate people, because a lot of us, we don't even know our left from our right. We just tend to agree to some people, we just tend to believe some people, we just tend to be loyal to some people, because we just believe that, okay, maybe they are from us or whatever. And a lot of people are being fed with wrong information, like the issue of the government and Ezazaki. The federal government was saying that Ezazaki wanted to stay in a 5-star hotel. That was why, he had to come back. He didn't want the security all over the place. But now we've not even heard from Ezazaki himself to even explain what the problem is. And because government made mention of that and that he wanted to stay in a 5-star hotel, he has not even been interviewed. And we could hear that when he came, the DSS had to take him through the back door, at the airport. And meanwhile, all the journalists were there. They even told the journalists to be stationed in a place. They told them to be stationed in a place because Ezazaki will be coming from there. And they had, within them, of course, they were going to interview him, to even know what really happened over there. But unfortunately, they were deceived. The journalists were deceived. And they took the back door and, they just wheeled him off. And he had already gone before the journalists knew quite all that. The man that you guys were waiting for had already passed through the other side. They said it was through the back door. So those are the things that, people would just like, oh, this man, he's been difficult. Can you see? That was why they didn't want to release him. And now the federal government had already, released him, to go for medical treatment and all of that. Of course, nobody is saying that Ezazaki has done right thing or he has done wrong thing, but at least let's even hear from him the whole thing, because it's really a surprising thing that he just went on Monday and by Thursday, Friday, he came back. Money wasted and all of that. So the treatment he was supposed to go for, and his health is even at stake. So that aside, so when people hear such things, they just go with that, and without even going through, thinking through of what the real issue is. And that's why this protest is not, it's like going to take a different shape by coming out. Those two guys are really learned, coming out and tell people the actual state of the thing, and let people even understand what they are even talking about, talking about the government and all of that. Even when they tell you, at least your inner mind should be able to dissect all that they have said. It's not as if everything they are going to say because they are learned. We still have a lot of learned people that are not really coming out. You don't even know them. They are not in the forefront. But for somebody who really has that natural sense, even when they tell you some things, you don't just take everything just like that, but you need to think through. Try to be objective, because a lot of us are not really objective. Oh, because I support this person, whatever the person does, is just fine by me. Every other person is an enemy. At times, an enemy can be saying something and there will be sense in what that enemy is saying. They always say, like, okay, like somebody who is not like an insane person. At times, you need to listen to an insane person, because there could be kind of a sense in what that person is talking about. That's why as a people, we really need to digest everything, irrespective of our affiliation to any party. Whatever that is happening, let us even look deeply and see the meaning or the reality of what they are telling us, and just think through. And if you feel that you don't understand some things, you really need to ask before you even make your own before you make your own stand, or be try to take your own stand and make your own valid submission for concerning whatever you are being told. So that is why we are, they are calling on people, just come out and hear all of these things. But some people have started insinuating that they might even try to disrupt that program. But let's see how it goes, because people that came out for ordinary protests, even after the call was first made, we saw the people on the street, and we saw the way they were, they were being treated, and it was not really a good thing. So now they are calling people that it's going to be on the 19th of this month. People, they are going to, it's not going to be a street thing, but it's going to be a kind of, from the way I understand it, maybe it's going to be a kind of conference. Let them discuss a lot of things, and they are still going to discuss on how Sowore can still be released from a detention. And a lot of people like, oh, they have a different opinion concerning all of this. Some people are like, does it mean Wole Soyinka and Falana, are they bigger than the government? That there's no individual that can be bigger than government. The masses can be bigger than the government if the government is not doing the right thing, because the power that the masses, the citizens, they have is more than that of any individual in the government. Like someone is saying that, or else what? Please, we are not Banana Republic. You made it sound like peaceful demonstration is an offense. Peaceful demonstration is not an offense. The more you restrict people to their rights, the more you look suspicious. Let them demonstrate. It is their right to do so. When people come, they want to demonstrate. That is why the security agency needs to be there and, just monitor the whole thing and make sure that no one is carrying arms or no one is destroying government property. It's just for them to be there and be looking at people, not that people are just talking, they just carry placard and the next thing you just start spraying tear gas. It's not really a welcome development. So guys, you've heard it all. It's going to be on the 19th of this month. There's going to be another protest, and which we've really highlighted in this place. Please, I would like to hear your own take concerning this, for Falana and Soyinka to be coming out, to support, and they are coming out. They are not even they are not pretending about, there's no pretense about it. They are not pretending. They are coming out that they are supporting this protest. A lot of people are hiding under their bed. They don't want to come out. Some people are not just saying anything. Some people are just like, let us just be watching, because they don't even want to be arrested. They don't want to be locked up because of what has been happening. Of course, you can't blame them. But like these two people, they are not hiding it at all. So we want to hear your own take concerning their support for this revolutionary process. Please put down your comments in the comment section. Thank you very much. Bye.